being joined by two people who know the science well and the law well as well. Dr. Satish Prasad Rath is a doctor. He's a he's a scientist as well. He's someone who specializes in reproductive care. Thank you very much. And Radhika Thapar Bahal is founder of the Fertility Law Care. She's joining us on the broadcast as well. Dr. Rath, can I ask you this? Were laws flouted? I ask you this question because reports are telling us, we are not sure, but reports are telling us that Sidhu Moosewala's parents had travelled abroad to seek IVF treatment. But then they come back and deliver the baby in Bhatinda. Is that something that the law in India gives a go-ahead to?
Thanks, Rhea. And this is an important topic. And I appreciate that, you always bring up the important topics. So there are two angles here. One is for the patient. One is for the service provider, which is a fertility clinic, and then one is for the regulation. So I think, I will leave the regulation part to my regulatory, specialist who is there on the panel, Ms. Radhika.
Correct.
But is it possible science-wise? Yes, it is very much possible. And, is there a ART Act, which prohibits people more than 50 years for female and more than 55 years for male? Yes, that's absolutely correct. Now, I really like the opening remark. What you said is, should there be a law like this? So why we create these kind of laws, if we understand this based on science, as the age progresses, especially, around 50 for female and then 55 for men, I think the gonads, like the sperms and the eggs, become more and more fragile. They are more prone for, getting into, let's say, inborn errors, or the baby might get actually some developmental anomalies. So which is a, problem what we want to prevent. Also, after the 50 year or 55 year of the parents, I think, it is difficult for them also to rear a child. That's what we consider, thinking at 1980s or 1990s. But I think, to reproduce is a biological right as well as a humanity right for, patients. And because science has progressed so much, so there should not be a blanket law, I feel. It is always good to have a threshold that, 50 and 55 are the average rules. But there can be exceptions where, let's say, parents are wishing to have a baby after 50 and 55. There are specialized cases like, they are losing their kids out of accidents, or let's say, they are having cancer, or they are having something else, or something. There can be so many permutations and combinations, the possibilities. That ideally should be discussed under a medical board, certified medical board, and should not be a blanket law. That's what, I feel.